Guys, if you don't take anything else away from this video, please just remember to wear your dang retainers so that you don't end up like me and going through this for a second time, okay? Save yourself the money. Just wear them. I just do. Hey everybody, and welcome back to Renovate Lifestyle. And today we're talking all about my shiny teeth in me with braces. So yeah, if you couldn't tell by the intro of this video, this is my second rodeo wearing braces to fix my shiny teeth in me. I did have braces back when I was in middle school, high school, and I was typical head case of didn't wear my retainer, it broke, my teeth shifted, got pissed off about the whole process and just didn't wear them. And of course my teeth over the years got worse and worse to the point where I felt insecure about them again and I wanted to get my gaps fixed. So ended up pulling the trigger once I got a full-time job after college and got braces. So I don't regret them whatsoever. I'm very grateful at how the process has been going. I have a fantastic orthodontist here in Iowa, Stork Orthodontics. I do recommend them highly. Not sponsored by them, but they are who are helping me with my teeth. Definitely a big thing I want to emphasize in this video is do your research on your orthodontics. Make sure you actually go in person to meet them. Do their kind of, usually most of them do like a free evaluation, stuff like that. Get to meet your ortho, get to talk to the practitioners and see what they're about, read their reviews. But yes, you can have a great experience at braces as an adult. There are so many different types of braces. So I have the typical like metal ones that you might see in like high school or middle school. They have ceramic braces, you have the Invisalign options, you have ones that go behind the teeth if you don't want them to be visible. So there are avenues that you can take. Definitely as an adult, it's been a little bit more expensive compared to the teenager, but overall pretty good experience, and I want to walk through that in more detail with y'all. I also want to do a walkthrough of kind of what's in my bag to take care of my braces when I'm at work and when I'm at friends' houses, because definitely I'm a lot more on top of the braces care routine than what I was back when I was a teenager. But yeah, I wanted just to kind of walk anyone through who might be a little bit scared, worried, interested, thinking about it, whatever state that you're in, just to kind of show you that, in my opinion, they're well worth it. But I'll share with you the ups and the downs of the whole entire process. So grab a snack, grab some popcorn because I can't eat it, but hopefully you guys can enjoy it for me. And let's walk through my braces journey. So I'll first start by talking about the cost and kind of the setup process. So it very much is the same process as I went through when I was a teenager. You do your research, so find a credible orthodontist near you. Do not go the cheapskate route. I highly don't recommend the at-home services, the ones that you get shipped to your house and stuff like that, because they can't do the same x-ray molding and actually in-person look at your mouth. So I do recommend going to an ortho for advice before doing anything, just because everyone's bites are different. Maybe you can get away with doing a more at-home type of program, but for lots of people, they need the orthodontist to be involved, whether it's for Invisalign, braces, whatever. So keep that in mind, do your research and go to basically an accredited professional before making any decisions or just going somewhere random on a budget. But with that, I got x-rays and stuff done. I got to have 2 different meetings with my ortho. So one just to do the initial pictures and imaging, and a follow-up meeting to actually walk through saying, okay, here's where your issues are, here's how we can fix them, here are your options, here's what you're eligible for versus what you're not eligible for. So for my teeth and my bite, Invisalign wasn't going to be the best option for me. It would have had a much longer treatment period and would have been a lot more expensive compared to taking the braces route. So that's why I went braces. Again, my sister, she actually did the Invisalign route, I believe, because her gaps were smaller. A lot shorter treatment plan. It worked best for her. So talk to your ortho, because a good ortho should tell you which treatment plan makes the most sense for you. For me, it was braces, which I was expecting, but it could be different for you. It just makes you actually talk about what your options are. Now, as far as the cost, I do think that this was more expensive than obviously when I had it done about 10 or so years ago as a kid. The cost for my braces I currently have are about $6,000. I unfortunately don't have adult orthodontic insurance, so it was out of pocket, unfortunately. Again, grateful to be able to have covered it, but my ortho is really nice. They offer payment plans, so it's not an all-at-once type of thing. So basically, I'm paying each month as I go, and I'll pay a little bit beyond once my braces are actually off, just to make sure I can financially afford it. But it is expensive. Prepare to be in that $5,000 to $6,000 range, typically without insurance, just because it's a multi-year thing. Braces aren't cheap, unfortunately. Same with Invisalign and stuff like that. It's pricey, it's expensive, especially the longer treatment plans. So just be prepared for that. Maybe have a savings set aside or ask about different payment plan options. I'm pretty fortunate where my payment plan doesn't cost extra. There's no fees associated with taking longer to pay, but definitely inquire to your ortho about this. Most of them will work with you. They understand $6K or more is a lot to drop on your teeth. So pretty much all offices have some kind of payment plan available. If they don't, maybe weigh some other options and see what you can do there. But yes, it is a hefty investment, so just be prepared for that. Even as an adult, it does not get cheaper per se unless your teeth haven't shifted too terribly much and your treatment plan can be shorter. Now, diving into appointment frequency, a concern I had was, okay, how often do I have to take off work to go in for appointments? How often do I get my braces tightened? And for me, it actually isn't that bad. I go every 2 months for new appointments and new wires and check-ins. And what's nice is that these appointments are only about 30 minutes long, so I'm able to squeeze them in over the lunch hour, which is really helpful and beneficial. So if you're worried about taking time off or worried about having to deal with just the logistics of it as far as making it fit into your schedule, 30 minutes isn't too bad. Actually getting the braces put on took about an hour and a half, which also wasn't too bad either. So if you're worried about the time commitment, it honestly isn't that bad, especially if your ortho knows what they're doing and they're pretty efficient. Now, the biggest question I usually get about braces is, what is the pain level as an adult? And I'll be fully transparent. It's not as bad as when I was a teenager. I do think a lot of the pain I had as a teenager was just typical kind of teenage angst, quite frankly. Yes, does my mouth hurt and is it sore after getting them? Is it sore after my appointments? Absolutely. But I found myself being able to go back to eating pretty solid foods in like a day or two. Maybe my pain tolerance has just gone up for myself, I'm not sure, but I always take an ibuprofen before I go and after I'm done with the appointment just to make sure I'm mitigating pain ahead of time. But when I first got my braces, I was pretty sore for about 3 or so days, and I felt kind of okay after that. And now after my tightening appointments, I just got power bands. That's kind of the biggest one when I start really pulling stuff together. It's been about 2 or 3 days of some soreness, but I've still been able to eat things like pasta. I actually had a burrito today, so we're pretty much back to normal. So as far as pain as an adult, yes, it's a bit harder on your teeth because it's older. It follows the same rule as when you get older. Surgeries and procedures and stuff are harder to recover from and harder to work with. And definitely the pain is still there, but it's honestly not that bad, quite frankly. I would kind of argue that I'm better equipped to handle it now as an adult than I was a teenager. I'm not complaining about it as much, honestly. It doesn't bother me as much as a teenager. Granted, I was playing an instrument and stuff like that back in high school, so that probably impacted my stance on it bugging me a lot more. But for the most part, it's manageable with just over-the-counter medicine. It doesn't debilitate my entire day. I still go back to work just fine after my appointment. So if you're concerned about pain, yes, there will be some soreness, but you should not be in like excruciating pain for extended periods of time. If you are, definitely talk to your ortho about what's going on. But at most a couple days after your appointment, you'll feel pretty tender. I recommend just eating soft foods like potatoes, beans, pastas, soups, etc. during that time frame, and you should have minimal problems. I also wanted just to kind of share a look into what's in my bag. So I am very much type A. I like to be prepared for all things that could happen with my teeth, especially being away from home for work most of the day. So I actually bought this really simple, it's not cute, it's not fancy, it's a simple black bag, but it holds all of my essentials I need for taking care of my teeth while I'm away from home. That way I'm not stuck with food and stuff in my braces. I have to do customer service, I have to talk to people, talk to my coworkers, so I can make sure I can clean my teeth when I'm on the go as best as possible. And if you're looking to make a bag of your own, a little go bag, I'll link everything in my description box below to my storefront. I'll put in options for you guys to use, but none of this stuff is expensive at all as far as things you need to take care of your mouth while you're not home. I just highly recommend them just because nothing's worse than having stinky breath all day long or having stuff between your teeth you can't get out when you're not home. So walking through what I have in here, obviously I have some toothpaste, kind of self-explanatory there. I used to have a travel size one, but I got a bigger bag so I can keep a full size one in here, which is convenient. I also happen to have a little small travel size toothbrush, so it pops out and I'm able to make it a full size toothbrush here. So really simple, great for being on the go at work. I also have a little Listerine mouthwash bottle. I recommend having mouthwash in case you don't have the time to fully brush your teeth. At least you can swish a little bit, get some stuff and gunk out from between your teeth. So mouthwash, probably the most important thing I have in here. I also have these little flossers. So you need different floss for braces. You can't just use like the typical toothpick ones, or it's hard to get stuff between the braces. The ones I have here are kind of more wire-like, so they actually feed between the brackets. So have some of these. I've gotten stuff stuck in my teeth. I actually have a water pick at home that I love a lot. They also make portable water picks for me. It's not necessary for me to have a water pick with me, but it's nice in case you need one for some reason. But if you can't bring that in your bag with you or have a space to do it safely, you can just get these little wire flossers, and they're super, super simple to use. And probably the most important thing I have in here, which I have a ton of in here, is my wax. My goodness, you will go through wax like it's water. Right now, my power bands I have on, this is the most my mouth has been poking me. Again, not painful, but I can definitely tell things are shifting. Wax will be your best friend. I always ask for extra when I'm at the ortho, and also you can order your own off Amazon and stuff like that too. So highly recommend it. I also just noticed in here I have some braces relief. Basically, it's like Oragel, basically mouth numbing cream. So if you have wires poking you or your cheeks and sort of kind of getting destroyed by your braces, you can just pop some of this on for some kind of instant relief there, which is really, really nice. So that's what's in my little go bag here. Again, nothing fancy, something simple. I can toss it in my purse, toss it in my backpack, just so I'm never stranded without having a way to make sure my mouth is nice and clean. So we'll get a smaller one, get a bigger one, get a little travel size bag, but you don't need a lot, just enough to maintain your teeth if you'll be away for a while. Typically during my lunch break, I'll just pop into the bathroom, brush really quick, and I'm good to go. And I'm back to feeling nice and fresh for the evening and for the rest of my work shift. Another big question I tend to get is, how long are you stuck with your braces? What is that duration like? And I will say it does genuinely vary per person. For me, my treatment plan is projected to be roughly 18 months. However, I know just from my last experience, I got told so many times, you're so close to getting your braces taken off, and it was like over 2 years for my previous time as a teen. This time they're aiming for that same 2-year mark if possible. So I would plan on having your braces for about 2 years. Again, maybe less, maybe longer. Everyone's mouths are different, so don't compare or get frustrated if yours take longer, because your ortho knows best. They're doing what's right to treat your teeth. If it takes longer, you want that beautiful smile. If it takes shorter, fantastic, congratulations. But regardless of how long your treatment plan is, it's there for a reason. So don't try to go get your braces taken off prematurely. Take care of them the entire time you have them. But for me, 2 years is what I'm aiming for, 1.5 years for my orthodontist. But we will see what happens. My teeth are moving quicker than what they expected, so maybe I'll actually be genuinely done at the 1.5 year mark. But time will tell, especially with adults too. Braces can take longer. My dad actually got braces as well in his 40s, and it took him roughly about 2 or so years with them on as well. So it just depends, but it shouldn't be anything extreme like 5, 6, 7, 8 years, things like that. Typically 2 years is what I've seen. Honestly, some days I forget that they're in my mouth because I just got so used to them pretty quickly. After like a few weeks or so, it becomes second nature. So roughly 2 years, but again, your time may genuinely vary based on the condition your teeth are in, if any surgeries or stuff were needed or dental work needed prior to your braces. Sometimes you can do bottom row only and then top row and then both. Everyone's plans are so different. It really is hard to tell how long you'll have braces for, but typically 2 years is kind of the average treatment time for most normal and average cases. So maybe not too helpful, but it gives you a good ballpark as to kind of maybe what to expect as far as timeline goes. Now, transitioning into some things I wasn't prepared for getting braces as an adult versus having them as a teenager was I have these things called bite blockers. They mostly have worn down now, so don't bother me as much. But bite blockers or turbos, whatever your ortho might call them, but they basically inhibit you from biting down. And I struggled so hard for about 3 months just trying to eat food. I had to find a picture, but my mouth physically would not close. Like I couldn't bite my teeth together to smile and stuff like that normally. So that might be a new experience for some people depending on what your bite is doing. So keep that in mind. I felt kind of awkward with mine. I always kind of kept my mouth shut for a while when I got them. They do wear down over time from you eating stuff and kind of grinding your teeth and stuff naturally. But be prepared just because it was something that I wasn't expecting the second go around. I did not have them the first time. They're different than spacers, which are used to space your teeth apart in a certain way. These impact your bite down. So mine do come off, thank goodness, next time I see them in June or July. But be prepared in case you have them because they were a unique experience. I also just wasn't prepared for people just asking me about it as much. As a teenager, no one really talked about getting braces. I mean, oh yeah, you got braces, moving on. Like, no one asked about the experience. I have a lot of adults and just people in my life asking me what it's been like, that how it's going for me to recommend it. Because so many people are also probably insecure about their own teeth and want to look into treatment plans. So be prepared to kind of get asked some questions, people to point it out, saying, oh yeah, braces are good for you. What made you do it? What's your process like? Who have you gone to? Because many adults do want ortho care. They just don't know where to start. Maybe like yourself, maybe like me when I first got out of college, just trying to figure out what to do. So be prepared for some questions to come your way, and people just to be inquiring about kind of what your process was. And I think the biggest piece of advice, this biggest thing I want to call out is that no one that's your friend or no coworker, no one close to you is gonna make fun of you for having braces. Your corner should be excited for you wanting to get the smile you want, to get the smile you deserve. So people are not walking up to you and be like, oh my God, she has braces, oh my goodness. No, like people are gonna be happy for you if they are actually your friends and actually good family members, for you taking that step for your health and taking that step for your teeth. Your teeth are a part of your body. You get the one adult set of them. After that, they're gone or damaged. So do not be embarrassed or afraid or ashamed of getting braces, because it's a huge step for you. You're making your smile the way you want to make your smile and be proud of that. Again, braces are temporary. So once you're done with them, wear your retainer, but then you're done with them. So you deserve that smile you want. So don't be afraid to get them. People honestly want to get them themselves more than likely. So I know my sister and I, we inspired each other to go back as adults and get braces or orthodontic care. So it's very, very common. You are not alone. I'm not the only adult walking into my ortho appointment. In fact, half the time I can't tell if it's an adult or a kid going for the appointment sometimes. So it's fine. Get your braces taken care of. Mind your business. You're not alone. You will be just fine. So I hope this walkthrough helps kind of put your mind at ease about kind of what to expect, what the process is like. Long story short, too long don't read or don't listen. It's not too different than as a teenager. It just might take a little bit longer overall, but since I've gone through it once before, I knew what to expect for the most part, and that process really hasn't changed too terribly much. So wear your retainer, ask your ortho questions or research a good ortho, ask other friends that have orthodontic care going on, and then just be prepared for the journey. It takes time, it's a slow process, but I'll tell you, there's nothing more satisfying than me waking up each month and slowly realizing the changes. So for example, last month, I had pretty big gaps in my bottom row. This month, they're pretty much gone. So it's pretty awesome to see the progress over nights and over times. Wear your bands, do whatever care routine your ortho gives you, because the more you cooperate, the quicker, or at least the more on time your whole entire orthodontic schedule can go. So with all that, drop in the comment section below if you have braces, what age you got them, when you're getting them, any questions and stuff you have. Let's help each other out in the comment section below. As always, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, notification bell. That way you know when I upload new videos. If you want a part 2 of my braces journey, so when I get them taken off, or just kind of an update in a couple months, let me know that as well. Otherwise, thank you so much for watching. Take care of your smiles, wear your retainers, and I will see you in the very next video. Bye-bye.